Hi everyone, I had to come on and tell you about something amazing that has happened, to the point where I'm still like getting my head around it now, because it happened yesterday and it wasn't until this morning that I actually realised the profoundness of it, really. So most of you will know that I was born with my sight loss. I have a very rare condition called anorexia. It means that I don't have any irises. I only have anorexia causes you to have an enlarged pupil, and the anorexia also causes other eye conditions like glaucoma, cataracts, nystagmus, and it can cause you to have congenital, it can also cause you to have cornea problems. So that means that people can have a deteriorating cornea, which is caused because of lots of different reasons. So I have the whole caboodle, really. I've had both cataracts removed, I've got the glaucoma, lost my right eye to the glaucoma and the corneoedema through all of the operations that I've had. Sorry about the background noise, my dog's playing with their toy just as I decide to do this live. Typical, isn't it? That's life, isn't it? So anyway, I've been, as most of you will know, I've been doing therapy work, energetic work, different types of modalities for a very long time, 16 years actually. Daisy's just turned 16, and I started doing them as Daisy, just after Daisy was born. And I did that because there was a choice between, there was a lot of stuff going on in my life at the time, the usual kind of things like, divorce, moving house, having a baby, and all the kind of stresses that come along when you're doing all of those things at the same time. So hence I decided that either I needed to go to the GP and get some help, or I had to kind of look after myself and start to nurture myself and heal myself and get myself into a better mindset, a better place. So I chose the therapeutic route of looking after myself. So anyway, I've been doing all sorts of different things for the last 16 years, and I've really enjoyed that journey of doing lots of things, and it's brought me to this amazing place in my life where I understand myself more. I love working with other people. I can help people in lots of different ways, whether it be people coming to see me or whether it be absolute strangers that I meet in all sorts of different places. And so anyway, that's all kind of been amazing. But I've, have been trying to very much work on the fact that my sight was deteriorating over the years, and there's been an interesting journey around that, from where I was very much in the drama of that energy of being fearful of my sight going, especially after I lost all of my sight in my right eye. And so I was in this fear of like, I can't lose my left eye, how will I cope if I can't see at all? Got completely in the drama of that, and then got to a point where I was like, I need to be outside of the drama of that in order for me to start to actually heal it, if you like, or get to a point where I can be okay with not being able to see at all. And so, sorry, the dog's still playing with the toy. And so anyway, that sent me on this the journey of like how I could do that. So going forward a bit so that we can try and not make this too long of a video. But I joined the group called the Wise Foundation, or Find Your Way Foundation rather. Find Your Way Foundation, which is a group of amazing women. It's run by a lady called Cheryl Chapman and a lady called Marion Bevington. And we met through public speaking. I'm just going to take the toy off the dog because she's completely distracting. No teacup, you'll go and do that out there somewhere. And so she's probably going to bring that back in now for me to play through it again. So anyway, in my journey with Cheryl and Marion, I met them through public speaking, and also joined the Wise Foundation, and then I met a series of other amazing women. So go fast forward a bit. I think it was February, met a lady called Liliana at Cheryl's house when we were doing some work there, some personal development work. And she told me about this gentleman that she knew called Vladimir, who does a modality, if you want, which is called energy of the, I think it's called energy of the brain. I mean, it's translated from Russian. So that's what I think it's called. And it's basically where you do energy work, where you're working on your entire energy system and you're working on your brain in order for you to be healthier in yourself, be connected into everything that's around you. And the ultimate thing of it is that was for me anyway, was that you're able to see through your brain, through your third vision, third eye is the only way I can see explain it really, is that instead of physically seeing, you ultimately, you could wear a mask and you would see as if you were seeing through your vision, but obviously you're not seeing through your eyes. So that's the ultimate goal of the training that we're doing. But in the lead up to that training, obviously we've been working on our physical system, our energetic system, and myself and Liliana have been doing that literally more or less every day. There's been a few days where we've not met for one reason or another, but we pretty much do that every day. And we work on the exercises, and then you have to do a series of exercises in addition to that you're supposed to do every day. And of course, it is quite a commitment, and there have been times where I've not done it as much as maybe I could do or should have done. It's that should do, could do, all of that business. But, you know, life kind of gets in the way, and you take a break just like as you do with anything else, really. So anyway, to get to the point of this video really is that due to my sight deteriorating, I've not been able to read physical print for about 7 or 8 years. And when I lost the ability to read print because of my right eye completely going and my left eye not being able to really functionally do that, even when I tried to teach my left eye how to do it, it wasn't able to do it very well, and it had to be large print, etc., etc. But when my vision got worse, and I had to convert then to using speech and magnification, and that was a bit of a transition, a bit of a journey. It wasn't an easy one, but of course I did it. And so my default is to use an electronic magnifier and a speech software. So anyway, we've been doing these exercises, and I've been doing work on Liliana. She's been. Yesterday, the letter came through the post, and I'm just going to put you on charge because my charger's going. A letter came through the post, and I thought to myself, well, no, something said to me to actually have a go at reading the letter. And so I stood where the daylight was, and I picked up the letter, and I was actually able to read it with my physical eye. And like I said, I hadn't been able to do that for about 7 or 8 years. And I'm not actually sure. I mean, the other day, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I noticed that I could actually pick up some big print in a letter. Kind of didn't think too much of it until yesterday, when I actually started being able to read the letter. And the letter is, this is kind of the size of print that the letter, I don't know if this is actually the right way when I put it in the camera, but that was kind of the size of print that I was reading, and I was able to read that with ease. So I can read that. It says, we sent you a form on the 30th of July, and I can read that quite easily. And then I tried another size of print, and I can just about read that size of print now as well. And when you consider that even when 7, 8 years ago, when I lost my vision, when you consider that I couldn't actually read normal size print, let alone I can read large print rather, let alone normal size print, that is a massive achievement. And I'm still getting my head around it now. I've actually tried reading some of my Buzzy chart book, because some of you might know that I do Chinese astrology, and this has got tiny print in it. But again, this morning I went to see if I could read this. Now I have to get close, and some of it is actually guesswork. I'm having to actually work a bit more on this one, but I can read. It says decisions and take the right action. Now that's so small. I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you can see how small that print is, but for those who are visually impaired and listening to this, that print has got to be about, it's got to be about a 10, I think. And it's grey on white as well. So how amazing is that? I'm still getting my head around it now, because, you know, with all the energy work I do, I mean, it's probably, maybe it's a combination of the different modalities that I do, the different practices that I do, and in addition to this one, because the other one I've been recently doing is the Helix Method over the last maybe 6 months as well. So there's been some work in the Helix Method I've been doing, but you know, I think this brain mind training that I've been doing, that I wanted to do a couple of years ago but couldn't do because of the pandemic. There was a place in America that was doing it, that I found after watching the Superhuman video, and one of the wonderful ladies on, I think it was on my Akashic Records group, actually sent me a link to the Superhuman thing, and I watched that, and it had, again, it's talking about people who could actually see through these masks and do loads of stuff. And but like this place in America that they showed on the video, you couldn't actually engage with their trainer at the time because of the pandemic. And then of course I met Liliana, and she had her friend did it as well. So, and actually the Vladimir, who is the gentleman who does this technique, if you are visually impaired, he has a foundation, a charity that provides this training to people with sight loss. And so when he did his assessment on me, and he assessed my eyes to see how they were, there was about 50% energy from my brain to my eye, from my eye to my brain in my left eye, and in my right eye there was something like around 20-ish, 20-30% in my right eye. The energy connects from my brain to my eye. And so it would be super interesting now to see what that level of energy is now, because like I said, I am now reading print. I just can't even explain. I can't even can't even tell you. Like, it's still like, wow, I just can't believe I can read print. And for so those people who are not visually impaired and can read print, is something you can take so much for granted, the fact that you can read print. You can pick a piece of paper up and you can read it. But when you can't read print, it's like so frustrating, because you've got to get either somebody to read it to you, or you've got to go and get a speech scanner or electronic magnifier to go and read it. And then it can be, you know, laborious or painful or challenging to do that. And now I am pleased to say I can actually, I am now in that energy where I can recognize that I can read print, and I've been able to, with the support of Liliana, with the support of this work with Vladimir, with all of the, probably as well with all the other energy work that I do, the other modalities that I practice and I know about, with the support of all the other people that I've worked with over a period of time, I've been able to change that, and I've been able to go from not reading to reading. And how amazing is that? It's just, there is no words for it, is it? There's just like, I'm still speechless really, because that's what it is. I still can't believe it myself. And so it's about me practicing now that reading, and actually being in the energy, that the fact that I can now read. So when people say to me, can you fill in that form? Instead of me going, oh, actually no, because I can't see it, I can now go, yes, I can look at your form and try and fill it in. And I don't know what I haven't actually tried my handwriting out yet to see if I can read my handwriting. So that will be the next test, is can I read back my handwriting when I write? Most people would say my handwriting is appalling anyway, regardless of whether it's due to my sight loss or not. But that would be really good if I could actually write and read what I'm writing. So massive step forward, energetically, motivationally, and otherwise. And the intention actually is that once I finished my training in this modality around using the seeing through your brain training, me and Liliana very much want to be able to go out into the world and teach that to other people with sight loss and see if it makes a difference to them. But it does require commitment. You have to do the exercises every day. So it's a bit like anything else in life. If you want something to change, then you have to be willing to put the commitment in to make that change. You have to put the work in. It's like at the moment we're doing a sugar challenge, you know, where you have to not have sugar for 31 days. You know, it's very much like about if you want to change that energy around about not having sugar in your body, then you have to make that commitment and do that change. And, you know, that challenge has been a bit kind of like that. But this, being able to see again, to read, has just gave me a whole new perspective on things, how to, just a whole new outlook, if you like. And so I just wanted to share that with everybody, because sometimes we can find life is like really hard and challenging, and we don't necessarily see a way forward. And I'm just wanting to say to people that even though life can be challenging, that if we can, there is a way forward, and we can see that way forward if we put our mind to it and we put the effort in and we put the hard work in. And even when we feel like giving up and not doing, that we find some light, some energy, some motivation to do that, even if we just take a day off, but we go back to doing that the following day. And then, you know, you can achieve whatever you want to achieve. And just, you know, a step like this of being able to read again is the evidence to me that this is working. And so let's look to see what things are gonna be like in another 6 months' time, because we've been doing this since February, and I believe that's when I met Liliana. So say we started it around March time, so that's March, April, May, June, July. So I don't know, we've been going for about 5 months maybe. So let's see what happens now in another 6 months and where it is my vision is from there. I actually, just to finish off this really, today I walked from I normally use a long cane when I go out, just to let other people know that I don't see very well really, and to try and avoid, you know, things like lampposts and bollards and all the things that you know, as visually impaired people we find challenging and walking into and stuff. So today I put my cane in my bag and I actually followed Daisy, my daughter, to the hospital and back. I walked without the cane, and that was good as well, because I thought, well, you know, I need to be in that energy of knowing that I can see better, and using my cane was almost like a tool that was still keeping me in that energy of not seeing better. So I'm now very much going to be trying to work on the energy, but obviously in a safe way, but working on that energy of using the vision I've got and expanding it and allowing it to expand itself and vibrate through me, so that I'm using it to the utmost that I possibly can. And the fact that I know I've got the tools, that I know that when I'm out and about, when I go to somewhere either familiar or unfamiliar to me, because I mind map in my head what the area looks like and what things look like, that I can use all of those tools as well to help me get around. And so it's only things like I got to get used to, like when people are walking towards me or moving objects. So we're still in the early days of using this new way of seeing, but it's an amazing sensation. And the more I talk about it, the more I'm in that energy, the more that I'm really kind of connecting to it, and I can feel that difference. So yeah, I just want to share that all with you. I can't wait until we get to the end of this training and I can take that out and share that with other people with sight loss and see if it makes the difference to them as it has to me. So no more speech software when it comes to reading printed text, and no more using electronic magnifiers. Great stuff. Anyway, have an amazing rest of your day. And yeah, and I got the next week off, and so I'm going to enjoy my annual leave as well. So you take care, everyone. Hope you're all okay. Yeah, the weather's been boiling, hasn't it? But going back out in the garden now to do a couple of bits. But yeah, thank you very much and take care. Send home love. Bye.